Shalom, friends, and welcome to Walking the Ancient Path, where we journey back into the language, landscape, and life rhythms of the Scriptures in a lighter, more accessible way, exploring the world of the Bible as its original listeners would have experienced it.
Today we'll continue the exploration of the book of Galatians verse by verse and unpack each passage within the context of organic ancient Hebrew thought.
So let's pick up our informal, informational, clearing the murky into clear water walk, starting in chapter 6.
Verse 1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, you which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness, considering yourself, lest thou also be tempted.
Clan brothers, if someone's foot is caught in a snare of Avon, wrongdoing, you who walk by the Ruach lift and set him right, like a shepherd resetting a broken bone, using a low wind of Anava, gentle humility, keep watch over your own steps, lest the same trap close on you.
Brethren, clan brothers, family camp language, same fire, same father's tent, overtaken in a fault, foot caught in a snare of Avon, Hebrew field trail image, sin is a trap that catches the walker's foot. You which are spiritual, you who walk by the Ruach, those whose lives are guided by Yahweh's wind breath, restore, resetting a broken bone, a common ancient image for mending, firm, careful, and focused on healing, not shaming. Spirit of meekness, low wind of Anava, humility depicted as a gentle low breeze, strength maintained quietly. Considering yourself to keep watch over your own steps. Stay alert on your path. No one is immune to stumbling. The camp bears one another up with ahava, love and wisdom, not harshness, healing the walker so he can rejoin the trail.
Verse 2. Bear you one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ.
Carry the heavy loads that bend your brother's back, and in doing so you complete the Torah of Messiah, the shepherd king who himself lifted the yoke for his flock.
Bear, carry, a physical image of shouldering weight, like a man helping another with a pack or a wood bundle. Burdens, heavy loads that bend your brother's back, a very earthy communal image. Burdens are not abstract but concrete weights that strain someone's walk. One another's, camp imagery. Every tent belongs to the same campfire community. When one staggers, all feel it. Fulfill, that's complete. Hebrew thought, filling something to its full measure. Law of Christ, Torah of Messiah, the shepherd king. Not Roman law or Greek philosophy, but a covenant way of life revealed in Yeshua, marked by ahava, love, enacted through shared responsibility. This is shepherd imagery. The Messiah bore the heaviest load, sin, shame, exile, so his people imitate him by supporting each other's burdens.
Verse 3. For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceives himself.
For if a man imagines himself to be a great tree, when in truth he is but dry stubble, he twists his own heart with deception.
Think himself to be something. Imagines himself to be a great tree. In Hebrew imagery, greatness is represented by tall trees, cedars of Lebanon. Pride is believing you are deeply rooted and towering, when he is nothing but dry stubble. Hebrew depiction of worthlessness, harvest leftovers, brittle stalks that burn quickly. The contrast between a mighty tree and fragile stubble is striking. Deceives himself, twists his own heart with deception. Hebrew idiom, lying to oneself is not external trickery, but an inward twisting of the lev, heart. Pride blinds. The man who boasts of his own strength forgets his dependence on Yahweh's breath and the camp's support.
Verse 4. But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, and not in another.
Instead, let each man test the work of his own hands, like weighing grain on the scales, so his gladness rests in what Yahweh has brought forth through him, not in comparing himself to another's field.
Prove his own work. Test the work of his own hands. Hebrew imagery of craftsmanship or farming. testing pottery in the fire or checking grain on the threshing floor. Rejoicing in himself alone, joy is not self-exaltation but satisfaction in faithful labor under Yahweh's blessing. Not in another, not in comparing himself to another's field. In Hebrew agrarian thought, envy arises from measuring your harvest against your neighbor's. The call is to tend your own portion faithfully. Paul's tone seems to imply that inward integrity, not outward comparison, is the path of emunah, faithful trust.
Verse 5. For every man shall bear his own burden.
For each man must shoulder the pack that Yahweh has placed upon his back, walking his own stretch of the trail beneath the sky.
Every man, universal camp responsibility. No one is exempt. Each tent father, each son, each daughter has a part. Bear his own burden, imagery of travel through wilderness. Every walker has his assigned load, water, bread, and tools. In verse 2, the clan helps lift crushing loads. Here, each still carries his own God-given pack. Hebrew thought holds both communal aid and personal responsibility. Walking his own stretch of the trail, the path of life under Yahweh's watch. Every step matters, but the walk is not solitary. The camp moves together.
Verse 6. Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teaches in all good things.
Let the one who is being instructed in the davar, word, living message, share from his table with the one who teaches him, pouring out every good thing as from a full jar of oil.
Taught in the word. Davar in Hebrew means not just word, but spoken thing, living message, something embodied and active. Communicate. Share from his table. Hebrew life focused on table fellowship. Sharing food and provision was about covenant and relationship, not just money. In all good things, pouring out every good thing as from a full jar of oil, a vivid image of generosity. Oil was valuable and represented blessing. The disciples' gratitude overflows tangibly. Mutual blessing in the camp. Teacher offers wisdom, learner provides support. Both gifts uphold the covenant life together.
Verse 7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man sows, that shall he also reap.
Do not twist your heart with lies. Yahweh cannot be scorned. For whatever seed a man presses into the soil, that same harvest will rise to meet him.
Be not deceived. This is a Hebrew idiom. Self-deception is like warping the inner core, the lev. God is not mocked. Scorn means turning the face away in contempt. No man can sneer at Yahweh and avoid his principle of sowing and reaping. Whatsoever a man sows, Hebrew agriculture image, seed placed with hand or foot into the ground, that shall he also reap. Direct, inescapable principle. Fields only return what is sown. A warning grounded in the field. Life's outcomes are not random, but the fruit of choices planted.
Verse 9. And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap, if we faint not.
And let us not grow limp in doing what is good, for at the appointed time of harvest we will gather the fruit, if we do not let our hands drop from the plow.
Not be weary. Hebrew thought of strength failing, knees buckling, hands sagging under weight. In well-doing, tov, good, wholesome, beneficial to the camp. In due season, Hebrew life tied to set seasons, seed time, harvest, feasts. Yahweh's timing, not man's hurry, brings fruit. We shall reap, a concrete harvest image, pulling in sheaves, gathering grapes. If we faint not, a picture of persistence, holding steady to the work until fruit is ready. It seems Paul's tone is encouraging. Don't abandon the field. Yahweh will bring the yield in his time.
We'll pause here and continue in our next episode.
If you listeners have areas of interest you'd like to explore further, questions or comments, please don't hesitate to let us know.